What's up, Jammies? Welcome back to another episode of Ricky's Ram Jam presented by Barefoot Wine. It was a tough loss to the Eagles on Sunday night, but it's a new week and we're on to New Orleans. It's a Thanksgiving episode of Ricky's Ram Jam, and I hope all of my Jammies are going to eat their little hearts out on Thursday. No Rams game until Sunday, so everyone can kick back, eat, and watch some football. Kirk Morrison, who handles the Rams pre and post game for ESPN LA, will join me to preview the Rams Saints in a minute, and my voice sounds a little shoddy today, so I'm really sorry about that, but I have a good reason for it. Monday nights, all the people you see behind scenes, people that work in ticketing, we have interns, marketing, PR, all these types of people behind the scenes. We all play flag football together that work for the Rams, and we had a double header the night before recording this, and we won both, which was so much fun. There are people from football ops there. You'd think we'd be like a powerhouse team, which like we've had kind of a shaky season, but we had 2 back-to-back wins last night. And so we were just screaming, running up and down the field. It was really, really fun. So the reason my voice sounds like this is because 2 back-to-back doubleheader Rams wins technically last night. So that was really exciting. Okay, before Kirk joins me, I want to hit the coin toss. And for those that are watching on YouTube, check out this new graphic. Isn't that awesome? I love it. The little spin, it's amazing. Okay, option 1 for the coin toss is 2 sacks of Derek Carr or Saints quarterbacks. So over 2 sacks. That's option 1. Option 2 is some sort of trick play. Maybe we get another 2-2 quarterback moment or a fake punt or some sort of trick play. So is it option 1 or option 2? Let me know below. All right, joining me now is the co-host of Rams pregame, halftime, and postgame for ESPN LA Radio, Kirk Morrison. Kirk, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing great, doing great. It was a tough loss to Philly, but we'll focus on some positives, right? And
Right.
Fisk continues to shine. What is it about his game that makes him such a force?
Well, I think it's his ability and get off to disrupt. I think you saw that in college with him as well. He's able to get through in the tightest of spaces, but also utilize his strength when needed. And I think that's what he's doing in the first half of the season. You could see he was trying to get acclimated to the NFL. This next part of his season, you've seen him really be a force and really be disruptive because he's got a great get off. He uses his hands well, but he's able to get into those. Get skinny at the line of scrimmage when needed. And he's attacking the football. That's why he's had some of these big plays as well. He attacks the football. He brings ball carriers, quarterbacks down. And you could just see he's getting more and more comfortable as the more reps he gets, the more experience.
Yeah, he leads all rookies with 6 sacks, and he's had 5 sacks in the last 4 games. So you're right. It did take him a second to sort of warm up, and same with Jared Verse, but the two of them together have just continued
Right.
to improve game after game. Are you surprised how easily the two of this duo has adapted to the NFL game?
You know what? I would lie to you if I said I would be lying if I didn't say I wasn't surprised.
Right.
Because watching these two operate in college, you saw how dominant they were at Florida State. Like you could not block Fisk. You couldn't block also Verse. Or when they were on the same side, it was like good luck offensive line. Teams would definitely try to do what? They would try to shift their whole offensive line and put them on those two guys, which opened up some opportunities for other players on that defense. But to me, I shouldn't be surprised because I've watched these guys where they were at the University of Albany in the beginning for Jared Verse or Central Michigan when it comes to Fisk. These guys have always had a chip on their shoulders. They wanted to prove that they belonged at Florida State in the Power Five or Power Four now, however, the college
Yeah,
football,
and how it
whatever.
all breaks down.
But but they're trying to do the same thing when it comes to the NFL. They're proving that they belonged. And look, Sunday night versus the Eagles, I know it didn't go in the right way for the Rams in terms of wins and losses, but I will tell you this, it was another mark on the book that's being written by Braden Fiske and also Jared Verse. As offensive linemen now know, these two young rookies play like veterans, and for Verse running over their tackles
Yeah.
and Fiske getting in there causing havoc, to me, I shouldn't be surprised at how successful that they've been as rookies.
Yeah, that video, when it was slowed down of watching him, Jared Verse truck over Jordan Mailata was like, I watched that and I was like, that made it look like he was tumbling over
Yeah.
me, and I'm 5'2", and I did like this recycling sort of I don't even know what you'd call it, like a promo with for social videos that we did, and I did this
Yeah.
competitive almost like recycling game with a few of the rookies, and Jared Verse was there, and just him trash talking even me at 5, and he towers over about like how fast we're
I
picking up
saw it. Yeah.
recycling cups. Like he has such a fire in him, and it
Mhm.
is so much fun to watch him like explode in every facet of his game. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's got a motor. He's a competitor. And I think for us, what were we looking for? We were looking for someone on the defense to really step up in a major role that was voided when Aaron Donald decided to retire last season, at the end of last season. It was going to be tough. And we're like, wow, that's the heartbeat of a team, Aaron Donald, not just defensively, but team.
Right.
And all Jared Verse has come in and done is really show that he can be that leader. He's still young, but I see guys following him in just his first year. And I think he's starting to become the leader on defense that will eventually become the leader for the entire team, as he's a guy that I want getting off the bus first, because he is going to talk all game long. And that,
Yes,
to
he
me,
is.
he's the baddest dude out there right now. And he's got a lot of confidence. And you love that when you start a game.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And then also too, it's like letting these other guys shine. Like Kobe Turner had such an impressive rookie season last year as well, and he's still humming along too. So it's like you have these two amazing rookies, but then also the defense, Byron Young in his second year as well. Like the defense together, you can't fill Aaron Donald's shoes, and we'll
Right.
continue to say that. But to watch this defense sort of step up in the way that they have has been really, really impressive. Okay, so let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Puka had
Yes.
his 10th 100-yard receiving game in just 23 games, and only OBJ has more over that span. What do you think makes Puka so productive, and how does he continue to stack those marks?
I think two things that stand out to me when I see Puka. Number one, contested catches.
Mm,
He is probably one of the best that I've seen at such a young age in terms of the contested catches when a guy is draped all over him, or he's being double covered. He seems to make the tight window catches, which for a lot of players it's difficult. But he utilizes his body. He's able to shield guys away. He makes those difficult catches. That's the one thing that stands out to me. The second thing that stands out to me is his run after catch ability, Ricky. Like he catches the football and then all of a sudden he gets an extra 5-10 yards.
right.
Or when you see him make that catch in the middle of the field, he's able to run, sideline to sideline, and he gets extra yards. Now, the only bad part is I want to see him run out of bounds sometimes. Get the yards needed. And I don't need you to lower the shoulder. I don't need you to finish the run of trying to run guys over. I want to keep him as healthy as possible, but that's just who he is as a player. But I've been really impressed with to me, the tough catches and then his catch and run ability. That's what stuck out to me, and that's why I think you see the yardages keep going up and up for Cooper. I mean, for Puka Nakua.
Yeah. And when this Rams O-line is in sync, this offense can really hum, and you can really spread the ball out between the offense and give them more time. Looking at the Saints on Sunday, how important is it to keep Matthew Stafford clean?
Oh, it's to me, this is a hostile environment, one in which Rams fans know going to New Orleans and playing, it brings back a lot of memories. Great memories for the Rams, but also some bad memories as well because of how loud and hostile that environment can be.
Right.
Keeping Matthew Stafford clean is going to be paramount this weekend, because the biggest thing that you have to realize is that this offensive line is still kind of been going through sort of a transition. It's not the offensive line that we saw down at Loyola Marymount in July and August, Ricky. This is a
Right.
totally different offensive line. That being said, this cohesive unit has to be able to keep Matthew Stafford upright, and they're going to have noise, loud noise. New Orleans will be rocking, especially Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of people will be in town, and the Saints have an opportunity to continue to keep playing and possibly can win their division. They've got an interim head coach in Rizzi, so there are a lot of things for them that they're excited for their part of it. That's why I think the Rams offensive line, the talk has to be, we have to protect Matthew Stafford at all times. And that could be keeping an extra tight end in. That could be keeping an extra offensive lineman in. right? Just to help out in blocking, and may see 2, 3 receiver in routes now for the Rams. Not maybe not 5 guys eligible. It may just be 3 guys, but I think that may be enough for Matthew Stafford to really start to get the football down the field, which Rams haven't done really in the last couple games.
Yeah. I mean, as when they're doing that too, the run game can really start to cook too. How important will it be
Yes.
to get Kyron Williams and Blake Corum going against the Saints run defense that has had struggles this season?
Well, I think the big thing first is that Kyron, let's hold on to the football. I mean, you're one of the great running backs, and you're a second team All Pro last season. When you hold on to the football, when he puts the ball on the ground, it's definitely put the Rams in some bad situations. So the key there first, I think, is to keep hold of the ball, protect the
Mhm.
football. But I feel like Blake Corum, now it's at a point in the season. We've been talking about Verse and Fisk, even Bo Limmer at center. I think the next rookie that's really stepped up, I got to throw in Cam Kitchens and McCullough as well, but I think it's now time for Blake Corum to really inject himself into this rushing attack. I see so many teams have this two-headed monster at running back, and I think now the Rams need to employ that with Kyron Williams. He'll still get the bulk of the carries, but I think Blake Corum has an ability now. He has, I think, a special skill set of getting downhill, which is what Kyron does well, but I think Blake Corum does it just as good. And maybe the more carries you give him, we may see both guys doing it. And I don't know if anybody wants to tackle these guys in the fourth quarter if the Rams run the ball the way that I know that they can.
Yeah, they're only a game back in a tight NFC West race, and they were in a
Yeah.
similar situation last year, needing to get a bunch of wins late. But a win in New Orleans puts them back in the playoff hunt. So, what do you think before we move on to my next segment? That I just want to do something little Thanksgiving themed with you. What are the keys to victory against the Saints on Sunday?
Well, I think the biggest key is starting off fast. We've been saying that a lot about this Rams team. Like, can they start off fast and get going? Well, they started off fast against the Eagles, and yet there was a fumble as they were entering the red zone. And then now it kind of took away a scoring opportunity. So starting fast is going to be paramount for the Rams because they want to quiet the crowd. I would say the next part I want to see from this team or how they will win the game is creating turnovers. They have
Yeah,
to do it. They didn't do that last week. And you saw the more opportunities Matthew Stafford and his offense gets, they're going to score more points. But when you don't have those turnovers, that makes possessions very key that they have to get something out of every possession. And they didn't do that against the Eagles. You come up empty handed, that was 17 unanswered by the Eagles, and that's where the game got away. You don't want that same thing to happen again this week. And I do want to see perfection in the kicking game, right?
yeah.
Whether it's the field goals or even Xavier Smith, we've been waiting on him to make a big play, punt return, kickoffs. I want to see the Rams do something special teams wise as well, because that's where I think this game will rely on creating turnovers defensively and also some special teams work, and then offense holding on to the ball.
Yeah, you talk about it defensively. I mean, this Saints team has Alvin Kamara and also Taysom
Mhm.
Hill, which can sometimes come out, play quarterback, play running back, play tight
Yeah,
end, and then he went for 3 touchdowns before the bye week. I mean, this team is strong on the ground, and we saw what Saquon Barkley had done to the Rams defense on Sunday night. So I think looking at that as an example, and also how to keep the run game to a minimum, which Alvin Kamara is great in the pass game as well too, but really limiting those explosive plays like you just alluded to, I think is going to be my key to victory. Okay, Kirk, before I let you go, I was thinking because it's Thanksgiving week, we could do things we're thankful for. So
hmm
instead of doing a Ram Jam, which I normally do every show, I'd love to throw out
yeah,
a few things, maybe like 2 Rams related and like 1
yeah.
personal each. So I can go first just to give you an example. One thing I'm thankful for is the Rams staff and behind the scenes people who keep the energy running, people like us that are doing what we do out in the field
Right.
and every day. And it's really cool, this community, especially personally, that I get to work with, of Rams coworkers that like really rally together each and every day, no matter what, like this team as a whole. And when we talk about this Rams team, there's a lot of more people than that are just on the field. And so to me, I'm really thankful for that community.
Yeah, no, 100%. Me as well. The production, everything involved with the Rams has been great. I would also throw a step further. I'm very grateful for Sean McVay.
Yes.
Like, let's be honest. I look at around the NFL. in the different coaches that have been fired and hired since Sean McVay
Right.
8 years ago took over at the helm for the Rams. I can say this: the Rams are always going to be competitive. They're always going to be in a situation of winning games. They won a Super Bowl a couple seasons back. They went to the playoffs last year when they weren't supposed to do anything. And then this year, the record is 5-6, but I would
It's
say that
still a
they had
possibility.
it's still a possibility. I mean, they still have the playoffs right there in their sights. And a lot of it doesn't go unnoticed by me of Sean McVay's temperament, of his attitude. Even in defeat, it's always positive. It's let's move on to the next week. And so I'm very thankful for what he's been able to do, because without him, I don't know where the organization really is, because it is difficult for coaches in the league to handle the week to week. And he's been doing it at a level that I don't think we've seen before to start his coaching career. He's not an old guy. He's not Andy Reid or Bill Belichick or Mike Tomlin. He's young Sean McVay,
Yeah,
now
but
the
look at his
third youngest coach in
coaching
the league.
tree at this
Yeah, I
young. Like,
know.
he's incredible. Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
think
a great point. Yeah.
that's a great one. It's like, yeah, look at his coaching tree. Up there with the Bill Belichick's and the Andy Reids, even at such a young age. Yeah, that we are so thankful for Sean McVay and his leadership. I'm also thankful when you talk about veteran presence. What about the veteran presence of like Matthew Stafford and Cooper Cup shaping the way for this offense? You have Puka, you have these young rookies, you have Blake Corum, like we talked about earlier, and just to see, when you're facing this type of week to week, like we talked about, to have that veteran presence of extremely impressive, talented playmakers like Matthew Stafford and Cooper Cup. Like, I am thankful to be able to watch. And I felt that last year with Aaron Donald on the field. It's like, wow, like let's just stop for a second and realize like what we get to watch right now.
Yeah, I mean, that was my second one, what I'm very thankful for. And just grateful to have Matthew Stafford in an era in which everyone's about the new young quarterbacks. Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, right? And then CJ Stroud, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, like all these young guys. And then it takes me to sit back and realize how good Matthew Stafford has been, continues to be, because of how many young players come into the league and say, no, I watch Matthew Stafford. I look at Matthew Stafford and how he's playing quarterback. And so it's fun to see the young players really understand who Matthew Stafford is, and without him, he's been keeping this Rams team together the last couple
Yeah.
seasons. Now, he had the injury riddled season a couple years back, but that was a bad year coming off of a Super Bowl. Yes, we get that. But what we have seen the last couple years is high level quarterbacking play. And when things are going right, man, Matthew Stafford continues to just thrive in a league with a bunch of these young quarterbacks. Everybody's trying to replace them. And it's like, no, 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 no. I like what we have.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And just personally, I think I'm really thankful this year for, it sounds like kind of a cop out, but like just like my friends and family. I feel like I have like a really great support system and helps me. It's a week to week league in the NFL and in real
Right.
life. And it's really nice to have that support. So thank you to everyone that listens.
Yeah, no, I'm right with you. Family has been always great for me because, football season is long, it's tough. And when you have that tough travels with the road games, me also doing college football, I'm on the road a lot, but I'm grateful for what my family has been able to always be there for me. And then also, too, we get to, when I'm done talking football, we just talk about family stuff. And so if I'm upset about a Rams loss on Sunday night versus the Eagles, it doesn't matter because Moana 2 is coming out on
I'm
Wednesday.
so
You know
excited
what
for
I
that.
mean? As am I, right? So it definitely puts in a lot of for perspective of, look, we love NFL, we love the Rams, we love watching it, but then, family keeps us grounded and lets us know that there's also other things that are bigger than football still, that we're in love with as well.
Yeah, and you're so busy. I would throw in an extra. You're probably pretty grateful for coffee as well, and maybe some energy drinks with all that you do with the travel and all that too.
Yes, yes, a lot of coffee, a lot of energy drinks, a little bit of everything. So I drink a lot of water too. It's
There you
never a
go.
dull moment in the Morrison household for sure.
I love that. Kirk, thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the Saints game. But I hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving and have a great week before you head to New Orleans.
Ricky, you as well. Great to be with you. Love everything that you do. And so, yeah, hopefully it brings us to a victory in New Orleans.
Yes, we're right there. We're right there. Awesome. Thanks, Kirk. There he goes. That does it for this week's Ricky's Ram Jam presented by Barefoot Wine. I hope my jammies have an amazing Thanksgiving and feel all rested up to focus on the Saints game. I am so very thankful for you, my jammies, and all the support with this fun program. I love getting to do this show and getting to cover this team right alongside with you. At the game on Sunday, I met a lot of you guys actually out at AA Plaza. So that's kind of where I am filming some things before each home game, and a lot of people were coming up to me, and there were two people in specifically that were like, Ricky, like, I'm a day one jammy. I love listening to you while I'm driving to work, and it just completely made my day. I love getting to meet you guys and talk with you guys about what makes you a fan and why you like this show. So thank you so much. I am so thankful, and we will see you December 1st. Meaningful December football. That's always fun. You jammies know what to do. Have a great Thanksgiving, and let's ram it.